Assalamu alaikum. My name is Usman, and the topic of my presentation is protection in biotechnology. So, what the protection in biotechnology means? As we all know, the use of biotechnology is progressively increasing in this modern world, not only in the food industry but also in the field of medicines. It has become essential to impose check and balance on what to do and what to don't. For example, if we talk about genetically modified organisms, then the modification of bacteria and the modification in the genes of animals to get better yield is for a good reason. But the cloning of humans is have many ethical issues. The second point is if we work in laboratories and we don't care about the proper protection and biosafe environment, then the contamination occurs and cause undesired results that can be prove hazardous for us. So the first point I'm going to describe is organism pathogenicity. As we know, in our industries, we use many type of organisms. So these organisms have might have their pathogenic effect. So on the basis of their pathogenicity, the organisms may be harmless, such as most industries use organisms that are harmless, for example, yeast, filamentous fungi, and many bacteria. These organisms are mainly used in food industries, and their safety is well documented from long associations lasting up to 100 years. And the second category is the organisms that are potentially dangerous. For example, the industries that are involved in the manufacturing of vaccines and other diagnostic reagents, for example, Mycobacterium tuberculosis and other viruses. These industries use organisms that are potentially dangerous, so we have to be extra careful when we use them. There is a federation and European Federation of Biotechnology Working Party on Biosafety. This federation established to provide recommendations on safety aspects of biotechnological techniques regarding our environment. This federation identify and monitor hazards and different dangerouses related to our applications in our lab work. This federation provides an international platform to discuss safety-related issues in different biotechnology techniques. Further, this federation provides us statements and recommendations that we apply in our labs and industries. This federation not only give us recommendations but also help us in the implementation of these recommendations and guidelines in our labs and industries. The second thing is biologically active products. By means of biologically active products, I mean vaccines and antibiotics. Contamination in such products can make them toxic, that can be harmful for us. So we have to prevent them from indiscriminate dispersal. Not only contamination but also overuse can be harmful as well. In agriculture, we use different pesticides, herbicides, and antibiotics to get better yield. So overuse of these antibiotics in agriculture could lead to carry over into human foods. So in different countries, these different countries have restricted the use of antibiotics in agriculture. The next point is biowarfare and bioterrorism. It is the one of the major threat to the human beings nowadays. It not only means the use of biological weapons in the war, but also the use of biological weapons such as microbial agents to destroy other countries' economy and peace. Agroterrorism is another example of bioterrorism. It is the use of biological agents against crops, livestock, poultry, and fishes. Biodefense. It comes the defense system against the bioterrorism. Biological Weapons Convention signed in 1972 that include 154 state members. By signing this petition, these state members agreed not to develop, produce, stockpile, or acquire any sort of biological weapons. The other method to defend against bioterrorism is the vaccination and natural immunity. Vaccination is not as the best option for a biodefense system, because the vaccinations took almost a year or many time to produce them, and to pass through them through trials. And vaccines are also very specific again towards different strains, so it is better to improve natural immunity to fight against such circumstances. And different countries are working on it to improving the natural immunity of the citizens. Thank